Hello everyone, myself Amruta Patil, lecturer of Computer Science Department, Arihant Education Foundation, Arihant Arts, Commerce and Science Junior College, Bhavdhan, Pune. Today I am here to explain about the topic Introduction to Connectivity Devices. The contents which I am going to discuss today is modem, hubs, repeaters, routers. So firstly, what is network connectivity? A small network normally grows, but it cannot grow beyond certain limit. It affects its performance like drop in the printing speed, it may be the machine's response, etc. It needs network expansion. Typically, two main types of expansions are needed. The first is expansion within a network called the network connectivity and expansion of two or more networks called the inter-network connectivity. So, to expand a single network without breaking it into new parts or connecting it to other networks, some standard connectivity devices are used. So, those standard connectivity devices are modem, hubs, repeaters, and routers. So, one by one in this lecture, we'll be seeing the details. Firstly, we'll go through the modem. So computers store digital data while the telephone lines can only transfer the analog data. We know that. So if a computer is to be connected to the internet through the telephone, okay, then it must convert the digital data to analog data before transmitting the computer signals. Okay, so converting one signal form to another form, that is from it may be analog to digital or digital to analog. Okay, that is called as that process is of conversion is called as modulation, and reconverting it to the original form is called as the demodulation. Okay, so modem is a modulator or a demodulator. The modem plays an important role in modulation and demodulation. Modem is used to connect the computer to the internet. Okay, so modems convert digital data to analog data and also the vice versa. So they have two advantages. Modem allows higher speed of transmission on any given analog line. Okay, so they allow higher speed of transmission and it also reduces the effect of noise and distortion. Okay, so here you can see the diagram given. Here the use of modem is shown, and here what you can see is computer A is transmitting some data to computer B. So there is a modem in between, and these are the telephone lines which are connected from computer A to computer B, and the digital data is sent and the modem is doing the modulation and demodulation part in between the telephone lines, and the digital data is transferred to computer B. So this is the use of modem shown in the diagram. So here you can see the description. Digital communication between the two computers, that is computer A and computer B, is carried out in the following steps. Okay, what are the steps? The user at computer A sends some data in the digital form. Okay, the computer A is modulating the digital into the analog form. Okay, because telephone lines carry only the analog data. Okay, so modulated signal is within telephone frequency range. It is transmitted over telephone line by selecting a proper dial code. Okay, there's a proper dial code. Okay, so next the computer B terminal is selected by its dial code. Okay, the modem of computer B is converting the analog modulated signal into the original digital data which was sent by computer A. By which process? By the process of demodulation. Okay, the demodulated digital information is processed and displayed on the screen of terminal B. Okay, and then the sixth point is an opposite and similar action is carried out while transmitting the data from computer B to computer A. Okay, the opposite process is performed while sending some data from computer B to computer A. Okay, so these are the process of modem taking place. Next, we can see the applications of modem. They are used in fax communication, email communication, chat communications, and internet browsing. These are the useful applications of a modem. Okay. So next in network connectivity is the hubs. Okay. What are hubs? these are the simplest connectivity devices used to extend a network. Okay, all the networks except those using the coaxial cable, okay, requires a central junction that are called as the hubs. Okay, hub is a structure with which cables can be connected without soldering the wires. Okay, so here you can see a network interconnected with a hub. These are the workstations, and here a centrally located interconnected hub is present. Okay. Now the types of hubs. There are three types of hubs: active hub, passive hub, and intelligent hub. What is active hub? It interconnects the network and also amplifies the signal received apart from splitting and retransmitting it to the destination. Okay, the hub contains electronic circuits. Okay, so in after the interconnection of the network, it also what it does, it amplifies the signal. Okay, so it is, so the name itself tells you active hub, it is taking active part in the interconnection. Next is passive hub. It only splits and transmits the signal received, and it cannot amplify it. Okay, this is the name itself tells you passive. It does not do any work, it just transmits. This do not contain any electronic component. Okay, intelligent hub is a third type. In addition to signal amplification and regeneration, this type of hub performs intelligent work. Okay, like what? Network management and intelligent path selection. Okay, so in the path selection process, intelligent hubs take an active part where it also amplifies the signal and also does some intelligent work. Okay, so these are the three types of hubs. Okay, so this was the second network connectivity which we saw. The third network connectivity is the repeaters. Okay, as the name itself suggests you, it expands the network length. Repeating, it expands the network length. If the network is to be used beyond the predefined limit, repeaters are used. Okay, they simply regenerate the physical signals on a network as shown in the figure you can see. Okay, they are regenerating means what? They are amplifying the signal. The weak signals are passed through the repeaters and the signals are amplified. Okay, repeaters can be of both the types. The first type is amplifying the entire signal, while the second type of repeaters are, they are creates an exact duplicate of signal known as signal regenerating repeaters. Okay, so you can see here there are two types of repeaters they have given you. The first type is only amplifies the signals. Okay, and the second type, it creates an exact duplicate of the signal. Those kind of repeaters are known as signal regenerating repeaters. Okay, so the same is given here. Repeaters can be of two types: amplifying the entire signal or creating an exact duplicate of signal known as signal regenerating repeaters. So this was the details about the repeaters. Next is routers. Now routers is an network interconnectivity device which is used to interconnect two or more independent networks. Okay, two or more independent networks are present. To interconnect those networks, routers are used. Okay, router is a combination of hardware and software. Okay, the hardware can be a network server. So when we place an router, there is a hardware part, that is the network server, and a separate computer or a special black box device is present. Okay, so that is the hardware. So what is the software part? They are algorithms. Why are they used? They are used to determine the best path by which to send a signal packet. Okay, it also includes the operating system. So what does this software part do is it determines, there are some algorithms, predefined algorithms are there, so that they are used to determine the best path. Okay, if some data is to be passed from network A to network B, then there is a router between that. Then which path is best suited, which is the shortest path, that is calculated with the help of algorithms. Okay, which are present in the software part of the routers. Figure shows the role of repeaters in an internetwork consisting of four networks. Okay, so here you can see the figure. Okay, the figure shows network A. Okay, network B, network C and network D. How they are connected? These are independent networks. They are connected with the help of the routers, you can see. Okay. So what are the routers used for? Basically to divide a big network into small networks called the subnets. Okay. If there is a big network, you want to divide it into smaller parts, then a router is used. Okay. Second is to connect a small network to big network like LAN to WAN. Okay. There the routers are used. What routers perform? They perform routing. Okay. Routing to select the shortest path. Okay. Router maintains a table of available routers and their status. Okay. So what it does, it maintains a table of available routers and their status. Router use this information along with the routing algorithm to determine the best route. Okay, as I told you. So routers are of two types. What are the two types? Static routers and dynamic routers. Static routers do not determine the paths. Okay, they are stationary. They don't do any kind of work, but you need to specify them. Okay, they are statically situated, located. Dynamic routers have the capacity to determine the paths. Okay, they can find out the shortest path. They can find out the whichever efficient path is there, they can find out those. They are called as the dynamic routers. So that was all about the network interconnectivity devices and the details about those. Thanks for watching.